All right, guys, in today's video, I want to talk about 5 ways to increase lead volume. So if you want to generate more leads, in this video, I'm going to tell you how to do this. This is a question I get all the time from the business owners we work with, the gym owners we work with, which is several hundred, and it's quite a common conversation that we get from people where they're asking, hey, I need to get more leads, I need more people in the door, I don't have enough people to talk to, and therefore I don't have enough people showing up in the door, and I don't have enough sales, right? So to start this video, what I want to share with you is that increasing lead volume will often produce more people to talk to, which will ultimately increase sales, right? We all know that, that's obvious, right? But people don't often think about the other side of that, and that it will also bring in some lower quality leads. So understand that, like, when you go to put these steps in place and you go to open the faucet up a little bit more, what's going to happen is you're going to get some lower quality leads in there that may not be warm to your brand, your service, or as to you as a provider. So if you are the walking, talking face of your business, it is possible that they don't know who you are, who is this guy, why is he trying to sell stuff to me? Naturally, that is something that happens when you lower lead quality. So I tell people there's always two sides to every coin, right? So my 2 cents on this is that you should never restrict lead flow. Right, doing this is a good idea. Right, open it up to talk to more people, knowing that the lead quality might be lower. And I wouldn't restrict lead flow unless you're operationally bottlenecked. Right, the only reason you shouldn't do this stuff that I'm going to share with you in this video is if you are like up to your neck in leads and you already can't follow up with the people you have. If your business, though, does not have enough bookings on its calendar for people that are wanting to sit down and talk to you if you have a consultative selling process, or enough people that are wanting to buy your stuff, then the steps in this video are going to help you open up that funnel and turn on the faucet a little bit, right? But if you are someone that is a little bottlenecked, then that might be where doing the opposite and restricting lead flow, the opposite of what I'm going to share in this video, might be of value. So it's going to be value either way, whether you have adequate lead gen or you want more lead gen, right? What I'll also share with you is if you're going to increase lead flow, you're going to need to enhance both your follow-up and your sales processes to optimize for sales, right? So it's quite often, I work with right now 500 plus businesses. We've doubled year over year. So I see this with increasing frequency in our business. And we work with gyms currently. And in working with gyms, what I most commonly see, and this is the same for all small businesses, and this is the same for all online businesses. I would say it's the same in my business, which right now we went from selling brick and mortar B2C to selling online B2B. And I'll tell you, it is the same set of issues in that that I run into with business owners, whether there's someone that is a client of mine or if I meet someone at an event and they're asking how we grew our business, because I get asked by a lot of other experts in the space, like how did you guys grow to $4 million run rate in just a couple of years? And it's like, well, we learned a lot about this stuff, and I'll share with them, I'll talk to them about their process and their funnel, and I'll find out that they have the same set of issues, right? So what we're talking about here is not unique to brick and mortar businesses or just gyms. This is pretty principled advice across all types of marketing funnels from the top down, right? So, and what I find is that, just to close the loop on that thought, what I find typically is that businesses have very restrictive funnels, right? So like whether it be in the way that they do their branding and their marketing of their business, or if it is like their lead generation on their landing pages and funnels and websites, or if it's in their follow-up. And I find that the more restrictive a lead generation process is, it's often there is an upside to that for that business, and that the leads they do get, they close a very, very high number of the leads that they get. But it might not be enough, right? They're closing a high percentage, but like if a business needs 20 new leads a month, 20 new members a month to grow, or 20 new customers a month to grow, but you're only getting 5 leads, but you're closing 4 out of 5. That's considered a high rate, but you're not hitting your 20, right? So like by saying that, what I mean is like you could be closing a high percentage of your leads, but not getting enough leads to hit your actual like volume goals, right? And that's pretty often. We'll get a gym owner that comes on, and I'll take a look. They'll be like, "Yeah, I only get like 6 leads a month." And then I go and look through their funnel and all their stuff, and I find that like it's a super restrictive funnel, and from how they're marketing the business to where the traffic lands and the website and the funnel and the landing pages and all that stuff. And because it's so restrictive, the only people they're closing are the easy ones, because they're easy because like they're someone that like they're obviously a very highly qualified buyer, because the funnel is so restrictive that these are the people that are practically begging them to take their money. It's like, if you think about it, if I make it really hard for you to do business with me by making a really like terrible landing page and terrible marketing and just terrible all the way around, but you still want to work with me, by the time you get in front of me, you're just going to be like, here's my money, right? So if I invert that thinking and we go to open up the funnel, naturally I'm going to get people I'm going to have to do more work on in my follow-up and sales processes. So I'm going to need to be a better appointment setter. I'm going to need to be faster on my follow-up. I'm going to need to be a better salesperson, right? I'm going to need to understand building value better at a higher level, because if I think I'm a great salesman, but it's only because I'm closing the 5 leads a month that are fighting to get through my funnel, then naturally when I open up the funnel and I get a bunch of leads that maybe aren't as fighting as hard, and we're making it easier for them to opt in, they're buyers there, but they're probably somewhere lower on the spectrum of worth, right? They're not super red hot buyers that fought to get through our terrible funnel. They are now buyers that are somewhere on the cold to warm spectrum, and those people need some warming up in the process, right? Okay, so now that we get through that, let's talk about what these steps are, right? So number one, not limiting your target audience, right? So I see this with small businesses all the time, is that they're trying to find the people that already want to buy their stuff, right? And so they're only marketing to the people that are like their best customers now, right? The problem is for many businesses, there's not many of those people in the market, and most of those people are already doing business with somebody else. So, if you're only trying to find the somewhat fit bro that wants to go from good to greatness fitness, like, there's not a lot of those guys that don't already do business somewhere. And if they're already somewhat fit, it's because they're having success at their current place, and they're probably not interested in looking for a new place, right? So you probably need to target people that you probably need to target a wider, broader audience, right? You need to focus more on general population. What I found worked best for my gyms over the years was like not targeting at all, like really creating content, our funnel, our advertising, our ads, to everybody and anybody. Pretty much that was between 25 and like 55, right? So like we reduced our targeting parameters, we widened our advertising channels, and we also re-explored our buyer personas to say like, okay, we're getting a lot of these type of people now that are not really like, ready for the gym, but we're going to get them ready for the gym. So we had to like change our onboarding and fulfillment processes to adapt to this type of customer, right? So like, because before we were getting people that were like already kind of good fits for our gym, but we weren't getting enough of them. So we had to expand our audience, and with that we brought in some people, and we had to iterate our systems to speak to someone with a lower, education level of fitness, if you will, in our gym. Okay, we had to educate them a little bit more and indoctrinate them and warm them up and get them warm and fuzzy about things. Number two, you want to reduce friction, clicks, and steps in your opt-in processes, right? So as people find you on the internet in your marketing, as they land on your web pages, as they go to book their intro or their consultation or whatever it is that you're doing to convert this person, if you make it very clunky and very friction riddled, you're going to lose them. So you have not very much time to convert a lead when you've hooked them. So once you've got their attention, you've got studies show right now. So 10 years ago, it was about 180 seconds. People would sit and read like entire blogs on your website. They would read all your content. They would click around. That was the early days of the internet. But right now, people are going to give you about 12 to 18 seconds of their time. And if it's not very obvious what the next steps are, and if it's not easy and seamless, you're going to lose potential leads very, very quickly. And we've studied this. We have Google Analytics for literally like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites that we monitor every day, and we could see when there's leakage and where people like drop off of pages, and we can see what kind of stuff people click on that doesn't keep them on the page. And it's oftentimes because we just ran out of time. We can literally see active live users on over several hundred websites using Google Analytics, and we could see like when they drop off and why. And it allows us to iterate quickly to improve the conversion rate of that funnel for our clients. With that, like things like minimizing the number of form fields in your opt-in form. If you have like 10-step opt-in survey as your initial opt-in form when they click get started on your website, then naturally like people just aren't going to fill that out, right? If they click through a getting started button and they go directly to a booking page that's asking them to book a time and fill out this big long thing and create an account, you're going to leak a lot of leads, right? Versus like if you just ask them for like name, phone number, email, and then send them to that page, you're going to see a much higher increase in lead generation, right? So you want to eliminate unnecessary clicks and provide very, very clear and obvious instructions. And remember that complicated and lengthy processes will discourage potential leads from converting. Okay. Number 3, have an easy to understand next step and call to action, which kind of goes in hand in hand with the last point there. Okay. So like that's kind of 2 and 3 are kind of in the same thing. Number 2 is, the opt-in process being very, very smooth and seamless and very, very, frictionless. Number 3 is having the call to actions throughout that process. And like, don't assume that people are as, understanding of your processes as you are. They don't really know who you are and what to do next. Give them clear call to actions. Clearly communicate what they should be expecting next, right? Like when they fill out the opt-in form on wherever they're filling that out, on whatever platform it is or whatever funnel or website landing page it's on, when they land on the next page, tell them in that we're going to send you to the next page so you can book your intro session, right? By filling out this form, we're going to take you to the next page, book your intro session. You're telling them what's next. Very, very simple, right? Like sounds obvious, but like people just don't do it. And they're like, why am I filling out this form again? And then it takes them to the next page and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to book something. Like they're kind of cut off guard. If you tell them what is next, you're going to get more people taking that next step because they're like, okay, I know what's next. I'm being told what to do. People love when you take control and give them, they're submitting to the process, they're submitting their information, they're submitting to the process. So tell them what to do next, okay? A strong and direct call to action will increase the likelihood of lead conversion, right? Number 4, okay, so content. This is a big one, content. When you're producing content, when you're marketing your business all over social media and all over the place, and all the places you talk about what you do, including your landing pages, websites, posts on social media, all over, it's always about being different, not better. People find different way more exciting, way more compelling, and people want to work with the different option more than they want to work with, what is considered an improvement offer, right? If you say you're better than the other guy down the road, it's really not that exciting for them. Like the brain just doesn't go off when it sees like an improvement offer, right? Like when we, if I have the base model Lexus GS model and the salesman calls me to say, hey, would you like to trade in your car for the LX model? You're kind of like, not really. Like, I'll just keep this car till the lease is up and then I'll go look for what's next, right? Because it's like, it's not that compelling. But if the salesman calls you and says, hey, we just came out with a brand new model that no one else has. It has a different set of trim. It has a different powertrain than you can get in any other model. Now you're listening. Now you're excited. You're like, this is different, right? This is different. So people want different, not better. So when creating content, avoid being repetitive and mundane. Avoid status quo statements like better or improved. And don't bore them by making it sound like a brochure, right? Like that's the biggest thing we see with like landing pages is people create these websites that have like way too many things to click on. Big navigation bar, the big unfolding accordion, and just lots of junk. And when you only have 12 to 18 seconds to convert a buyer, you can't force them to read in a whole other page full of stuff after they click. It should be whatever they click should take them to the next obvious step, right? So work on that and work on emphasizing the value you provide, right? So focus on, if you're, in talking about like how people perceive value, the lowest valued products in people's minds are just great products, right? Like a great product, if you just say, we're a great product, here's our features and benefits, here's why we have more features and benefits and we are better than the other guys, people are like kind of like, but if I now shift the discussion to an amazing customer experience, now people are more excited. If I shift that another level up to the third level of value and say, this is a simple system that produces a real and tangible and specific result, they're even more excited because it's more done for them. And the fourth level is like, hey, trusted advisory and guidance is a part of this process. So like, okay, cool. Now I've got someone kind of like taking me through the process and it's not me trying to figure this stuff out on my own. That's what excites people, right? So instead of saying we're the best, talk about how you're different and focus more on the experience you offer and how your system produces a specific outcome instead of talking about why you're better than another provider about something that people don't even know that much about to begin with, right? Okay, and how you do that is you speak directly to their pain points instead of talking about what you think is the solution. Instead, you talk to their pain points and how you solve those problems, which in their mind, they connect the dots very quickly. Like, this is built to achieve and accomplish a specific end result of solving my pain points. Okay, number 5 is, and this is the most important one, is lead with a value-based approach or value-first approach, right? Prioritize building trust and providing value before asking for a commitment, right? So in all the content you put out there on the internet and all the things that you publish everywhere, it should always be about giving value first, right? This is what builds a brand. If you want to be the best known brand in your market for whatever product you sell or whatever local business you run, then how brand is built is by value first, right? If you're known as a high value provider or someone that gives more than they ask for, and if you lead by that, then word will spread very, very quickly. I can attest to that because we've built that with our business here at Big Little Gyms, and that like we publish, this video right here. This is a video that I will likely give away because this is content a lot of other people in my space try to charge for, to say these things. In fact, most gurus, what they're doing is charging to tell you these exact things. What we do is a specific system tailored towards a specific end result. So like by showing you we know how to do it, by giving you the advice, you're going to trust me far more. So I want to build trust. I want to build my brand. I want to build value before I ask you to buy anything for me, because that just makes sense, right? And I'm going to offer valuable content. You're going to offer valuable content. You want to give resources or advice to your target audience that often is behind paywalls. So like find what your competitors are trying to charge for and find ways to give versions of that away for free, and do it from the heart. And when you do, people will genuinely see that you care and that you're a service first person and a value first person. And especially if you run a membership based business or subscription based business, this is huge, because like reciprocity, they will continue to pay that membership forever if the value they received in the front end early in the process was way, way, way high. Say you give them a $10,000 experience and result for a couple $100 a month, they're going to pay that couple $100 a month until they feel like they paid back that $10,000 result, which is several years, right? So that's what you want to think about. And last, you want to demonstrate your expertise and offer actionable advice. With that, you can attract leads who are genuinely interested in your offering, resulting in higher quality prospects. So they say on the internet, it takes like 16 to 24 touch points before someone considers clicking on your call to action. And that content needs to be like 16 to 24 high quality touch points. So it can't just be the same redundant, boring stuff over and over again. Okay. So those are the 5 things. Just to review here, you got: don't limit your target audience, go wide, not deep. Reduce friction, clicks and steps in your opt-in process, right? Streamline that opt-in process so it's not clunky and not friction riddled. Number 3, have an easy to understand next step and call to action everywhere that you post stuff. After you post content in social media, tell them what to do. Don't just say something and end it. Say, if you want this result that we talked about in this post, click the button below, or click the link in comment, or go to xyz.com and fill out the form on the page to get started. Tell them what to do, right? Like I do this in every video. I will do this at the end of this video. I will invite you to do business with us because it just makes sense that if you want to have this done for you, that you would reach out to us, right? Number 4, content, different, not better. That's pure gold right there. Like, don't focus on being an improvement offer. Focus on being different and separating yourself and disrupting your market. Number 5, value first approach. Build trust. Give first. Build value way before asking for any types of commitments. That's it, guys. That's today's video. The best time to use these methods is when you have so little lead volume that you are willing to spend a little more time following up with a higher percentage of the leads to convert a higher ticket sale. Understand that increasing lead volume comes with reducing lead quality. If we have a very restrictive funnel, we're going to only get the very highest quality leads, and they're going to be relatively easy to follow up with and sell. In fact, they're probably going to follow up with us before we follow up with them. When we do the opposite, we are going to have to start reaching out to leads faster. We're going to start reaching out to leads more consistently. We're going to need to be better at overcoming objection and understanding what the pain points of the buyer are, right? Now, if you're having the opposite problem and lead flow is too high and you want to increase lead quality, be sure to watch my video about increasing lead quality. I have a video that just like this one where I go through all the things that tighten the funnel to increase the lead quality, just in case if you are someone who is operationally bottlenecked and cannot do the follow-up and you need to increase lead quality and business is good enough to do that, then give that video a watch. Now, if you are looking for more of this, you're looking to do business with someone who's here to help you. We work with over 500 gyms. We're not interested in selling you anything you don't need. Our company does, right now we're at a $3 million a year run rate. So selling one more gym our services isn't going to change our lives, but we know it can change your life. And we do everything in good faith and goodwill, and we back up everything we do with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. If that's why you're doing business with us, don't click the button. We want someone that's here to do the work and isn't here because if they don't do the work, they don't have any risk. We want someone that come in here ready to do the work. Go to biglittlegyms.com, biglittleGyms.com. When you go there, you can see more about what we do, how to work with us. And when you click the button, it's going to ask you for name, phone number, email, and it's going to take you to a booking page where it'll offer you our scheduler, and you can pick the time that works best for your schedule. We will meet and talk about what your current situation is, your desired situation is, what your goals, what you're currently doing, show you what we do, and also show you how you get started. biglittlegyms.com. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day. Bye.